Congrats, champ.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was that the most satisfying win of your career, given the beef that you guys have and had and everything else?
Like, I'm satisfied that I got the win, but I wanted to get that motherfucker out of there. I wanted to cause a little more damage. I definitely got to see the look I was looking for. Like, oh, he wasn't ready for the pain that I was gonna bring him. But so yeah, that is the most satisfying, given the talk he was talking. I'm glad to be the one that shut him up for a little bit. I feel like if I would have finished him, it would have shut his mouth for a longer time. But he's gonna be mad, and I can sleep well at night knowing that.
How far in advance did you plan your little send off once you got on the mic? The little
I thought about that backstage. Backstage, I was like, you know what? The fans not really liking him, so I'm gonna give the fans, you know what I mean, some I told you so too after the fight. You know, I think they enjoy that.
So take us through the fight from your perspective.
Yeah.
Obviously, two stories to the fight. One, his control time.
Yep.
And two is, you outstriking him. So were you surprised at the wide disparity of the scores?
I was surprised with the 50-35 or 50-45, because I definitely believe he was trying to like control, and that we know that's his game. But he did like literally no damage to me anytime he controlled me, because he couldn't do damage because I'm creating space and doing the things I'm supposed to do to keep the fight moving, like to progress toward a finish. And anytime I got in the dominant position, I was progressing toward a finish. He was just trying to stall the fight out. That's all he was doing. So I don't think, and even the commissioner read us the rules in the beginning of the fight. It was like damage, cage generalship, those hold the highest regard in a fight. So just because you hold somebody's legs for a round, that don't mean you should win a fight. And I think that's how it should be. This is mixed martial arts.
But you've been around this game quite a bit.
Yep.
You've seen things go screwy. So was there times during the fight when you're on your back and he's holding you down that you're going, oh shit, man, this could turn sideways on me in a hurry?
Yeah.
With the judges.
And my coaches were giving me senses of urgency too. Like I need to get going. And I know that going into this fight, like that's his whole game plan. He's gonna try to hold me. And the game plan was not to get him there. He was good enough to get up or to get in and get past my back, so get up past a lot of my defenses. But ultimately, he wasn't able to do anything with the position, and I was able to escape a lot of the positions. I don't know if he ever finished like on top of me at the end of the round. I don't remember now, but I believe I was able to reverse him or escape from position majority of the times he was able to gain position on me.
You got to be in there with Patchy. Obviously you're fighting him several months down the line. Mm-hmm. What are your initial thoughts on that? And did you see any of his fight against Magomed? Yeah,
I seen the glimpses of it. I seen the finish. And I know Patchy's good on the ground. My thing is, you're not better than me in mixed martial arts. In grappling situations, you might think you're better than me, but you got to get past a lot of things to get into my or to get me to the ground or get me to engage or be in a bad position. I got amazing submission defense and wrestling, so we'll see. I'm looking forward to that fight actually, because he's proven himself to be like among one of the great. He beat Horiguchi. And he's beat Magomed, who I also have a win over. So he's definitely, I would say he's deserving of the spot, and I'm actually looking forward to putting my fist through that gap in the middle of his teeth. So I'm excited, I'm excited for that fight.
You seem pretty healthy. He seemed pretty healthy when he was back here. How soon do you want to get this thing wrapped up? I mean, do you have a timeline in
Sabatello bitch ass ain't punch me or kick me or do nothing to me that whole fight. So I'm ready to go. If he's ready to go in February, I would be ready to go. That's up to him. I should ask my family actually before I do that, because that's a little soon. But I'm ready to go. I love to fight. So I'll be ready to go as soon as he's ready to go.
Kay Williams for Can Chronicles Media. How you doing, Stots?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's been well documented. You called them out on Can Chronicles Media when we interviewed back in April.
Yeah.
Walk us through the emotions on you actually winning and it coming to fruition.
Yeah, man, it's just, everything that I say is going to happen. It ends up happening. I speak these things into existence and they end up happening. It's just like gratifying, like I said, like I wanted to finish him and, kind of disable him for a little bit, but I didn't get that, but I got the win, and I also got to shut him up a little bit. So that's I'm gonna sleep well at night for a little bit, you know. I'm gonna probably troll him a little longer on social media and stuff. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, a bunch of people probably gonna troll him with me. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited for the win.
And you know, I got a personal question for you, man. What's gonna be your victory meal tonight, man? I know you can't cheat on the diet.
Oh man, I'm cheating on the diet for sure. Michaela, what we getting? I don't know. What's up, baby? What's up? I want to get jambalaya. Jambalaya is one of my favorite dishes to have after the fight, you know. So I'm gonna ask Jason, my nutritionist, to see if we can get some jambalaya or something, man. He cooked me up some good stuff this week too. So yeah, I'll probably try to some jambalaya.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Raufeon, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this, and I know you kind of got asked this a little bit. You're sitting there, one scorecard's red, another scorecard's red. It's coming down to one man's decision whether you're the champion or not. What's going through your mind?
Man, in that moment, a lot of regret. Just like, man, I should have finished him, or man, I should have, you know, gave a little more, or not let up a little more. But yeah, so I don't like going to judges' decisions, you know, because I'm leaving my future in the hands of, you know, other people. So when I heard that 50-45 in the beginning, I was like, God damn it, here we go. Because that was an outrageous scorecard, I feel. But you know, it worked in my favor. You know, probably a little bit of luck, a little bit of, you know, skill, a little bit of God on my side. So you know, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful in those situations.
Obviously you're in the moment, it's really hard to score, but you know, your corner and your stuff, like what rounds did you think you won? Like what was your scorecard, or if you're in it, you might not be able to, or when your teammates, what are they telling you?
I think the first round, I think he controlled me. I wasn't able to get a lot of damage off. I don't remember if in the second round I felt like I maybe have won, or he might have got the second round. Beyond the third round is when my coaches Eric Nissick and Eve Edwards told me, like, I need to be more urgent. You got to be more urgent. You can't give up anything. And that's when I kind of started. I feel like winning the fight. The fifth round, I feel like I knew it was a crucial round. I was winning the fight early, and then he got position on me, and I was even in that position. I was just landing. You know, I was landing those back elbows, and I was giving damage. You know, and every second of the fight, I was giving damage. So I thought that would help me win the fight. You know, and it did.
How close was that knee bar?
Man, the knee bar was close. Man, I almost got his ass to the knee bar. I think he switched like his hips like at the last minute, and I had like 10 seconds to go, so I couldn't like reposition. But I definitely surprised him, I think, with it.
All right. Kind of two-part question.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't think it'd be competitive.
Yeah.
It was pretty competitive.
Yeah,
this
it was.
Decision.
Yeah.
Do you respect his skills more now? And then the second part of that question is, obviously he talked a lot of trash. He wasn't able to completely back it up.
Yeah.
But it made a lot of people really excited for the Grand Prix, and particularly this fight more than any. Would you say he's good for MMA?
No, I definitely I think he's good for MMA. I think he was great for my career. He was a great step I needed. I feel like I needed a villain. I needed somebody, you know, on the other side of the cage that people thought could hang with me and you know, would like pose a threat to me and challenge me, you know, and he definitely did that. His skills were better than I thought they were, so I'll give him credit for that. But I still won, so I'm still gonna talk shit and rub it in his face. So
Rauf, so your next fight's with, you know, Patchy.
Yep.
Then possibly, you know, with Sergio.
Yep.
Do you think you're done facing Sabatello, or you think he's going to come back again?
I said this in the beginning. I feel like this was early for me to face Sabatello. I think he'll be back. I think he'll learn from this loss, and he'll be better for it. I think he still needs time in the game to grow. So yeah, hopefully I see him again, because that was like a fun fight and that was a fun build up, and he had a lot to say that I thought was good. So hopefully I see him again.
Now, you talked about the damage you were doing in the fifth round with those elbows.
Yeah.
Did you think the elbows were not 12-6 elbows to have the ref stop it?
Yeah, I don't think they were. The issue wasn't the 12-6. I think it was because I was laying on my back, so I was elbowing like this way. I wasn't elbowing straight from the ground to the roof to the ceiling. He was turning his head to kind of get away from the elbows, and I couldn't really see that. So like as I would elbow his face, he turned his head and I hit his back, and the ref would tell me, "Hey, watch the back of the head." And you know, once I heard that, you know, I stopped elbowing it. But if he turned his face again, I started elbowing again. And then he warned me again because he turned his head again. So,
One last
yeah.
one for me. Can you rate him as an opponent?
Given this performance, I'll give him a -2. So yeah, he definitely better than I thought he was, but he still sucks.
Hey, Raufeon over here. Congratulations on the win. I gotta ask you this. I asked Sergio, despite all the trash talk, despite all the things Sabatello says, do you have any sense of newfound appreciation for him for all the attention, the new attention he's brought to the bantamweight division?
Yeah, no, I appreciate his fight build up. I don't. So one of the reasons I wanted to fight him is because I felt like I was one of the people in the division that could pose a threat to him wrestling. I feel like he was like bullying a lot of people with his trash talk and his wrestling. And when I see bullies, I feel a need to beat them up. You know what I mean? So that was one of the reasons I wanted to fight him. But I have a newfound appreciation for his skill set and even the way he showed up tonight. You know, he talks a lot. You know, he didn't talk as much as I thought he was gonna talk in the cage, but he came and he came to fight. So I give him half of a kudo for that.
And then going into that fifth and final round, what are some of the things your coaches, Jason, Eric, and Eve, are telling you in one of the biggest rounds of your life?
Yeah, Eric told me, I think Eves had lost his voice at that point. Eric was telling me, "Hey, I need you to fucking fight this motherfucker. Fight." I'm gonna say it in Eric's voice. "I need you to fight this motherfucker. Okay? You go out there and you fight this motherfucker. Don't wrestle with him. Don't fucking do all this shit. You hit him, you back up, and you hit him again." And I remember that, and that shit stuck with me, you know. I love Eric, you know, for that that sense of motivation. That's the type of stuff I need, you know, especially going into like the round of my life, you know. This is to keep $1 million alive. And I love those guys in my corners. I want to thank my coaches, Eve Edwards, Eric Nixick, Jason, my manager, Sucker Punch, also Travis Took, and Michael Corley back in Houston, Texas, Jose. There's a lot of people that were able to help me. I'd like to thank Dylan for asking the question. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody. Next.
Danny, thanks for coming. So we'll file that under hard luck loss. Is that what you're calling it? How do we call this at this point?
Yeah, pissed off. You know, I think I won that fight. My team thinks that I won that fight. You know, obviously I take full responsibility for the loss. You know, anytime you lose a decision, you could have obviously stopped the other guy and won by stoppage, whether it's KO or submission. But I don't know how the fuck I lost that fight. I don't know how the fuck I lost that fight. I think the judges fucked this one. I don't know how one judge has it 50-45. I win every single fucking round. And then the guy sitting next to him has me lose a close fight. Doesn't fucking make sense to me. But, you know, it is what it is. Nothing changes off my book. I think I won. That's that.
What's the game plan going forward? I mean, obviously this is not a rivalry that's going to just go away just because you've got a loss on your record to him. So what do you do from here? I mean, obviously he's got his next fight booked, but you just work your way back up to the point where you can fight him again or get another shot at a belt?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how I view what happened with the outcome of that fight, I still go back to the fucking best gym in the world and American Top Team and go balls to the wall in training and keep striving to get that fucking belt. You know, I'm young. I've only started MMA about 4 years ago. I got in Bellator a year ago, and I already got this title shot. So obviously, it's a very bright future for me. You know, this is just a little speed bump, and I'm going to be motivated no matter what. You know, even if this was my 10th loss in a row, I'll always be motivated for the next one. You know, at the end of the day, I still think I'm the best fucking bantamweight in the world. I still know that I fucking won that fight. You know, it's become a sport where you're just trying to trick 3 fucking judges, and that's it. Doesn't matter how anyone else sees the fight. It's just 3 fucking people that don't even know what they're looking at. You know, but before this, I was looking at the scorecards and I was looking at everything. I had over 10 minutes of control time, and he had under 1 minute. I don't see how somebody wins the fight there. He threw a lot of strikes that did not land. In that 5th round, he was throwing an elbow that was hitting my shoulder repeatedly, not connecting. I don't have a bump or a bruise on me. I am perfectly fine. He never fucking hit my face. Again, it's very frustrating because I think I won that fight. But again, I do take full responsibility because at the end of the day, I fucking lost no matter what I think or anyone says. I know I lost.
So what do you do going forward in terms of like improving? Because I'm assuming as far as you're concerned, you did everything exactly the way you set out to do it. So how do you even make any kind of improvement from that?
It's tough. You gotta, a loss like this, you go back and you kind of work on techniques to trick the judges. If I throw a lot of volume in that fight, if I throw a lot of punches and they don't land and they just hit his arm and nothing else, it's gonna look like I'm beating him up, evidently, in the judge's mind. And right now in this sport, all you got to do is trick 3 judges. So we go back and we find little techniques to trick the judges and make it look like I'm winning, even if I am controlling. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have all the answers right now. You know, I got to go back and watch the fight, fucking obviously. But nothing changes. Keep getting better at a mixed martial artist, and that's it.
Danny, right here. First of all, I want to thank you for the time. Not many people are going to come out here and talk to us after they lose the judge's decision, so we appreciate that. How did you score the fight?
I think I won 4 rounds to 1. I think the only 1 round that he won possibly was that 3rd round. Although in every single round I had more control time. You know, it's just such a gray area where if you're throwing volume, it might look like you're winning to the naked eye that doesn't understand MMA. But if you're controlling somebody and you have them in a position, you're winning the fucking fight. So again, it's not really become about a fight. It's just become about tricking judges. You know, right now I'm only 5 minutes removed from the fight. I don't have all the answers. I might say something right now that I'm going to regret. I don't fucking know. Yeah, it just sucks.
My last question is, I know there's a rivalry, there's a bitter rivalry between you two, but that said, a lot of times when people fight each other, it changes a little bit. You start to respect their skills. Do you respect his skills now?
Nah, me and him are a guy that we're never going to see eye to eye. None of this shit was fake leading up. We really don't like each other. After I win, I don't really shove it in my opponent's face or anything like that. I heard when I was walking out of the cage, he was saying, nah, 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 goodbye. You know, that's not cool in my book. I'd never do that to an opponent. yeah, this shit's not over. If it was up to me, I would fucking fight him, and I would fucking fight him in 15 minutes. But obviously, he's got to continue on and fight Patchy, and I got to go my route. But we'll meet again, 100%. We will fucking meet again, and I'm gonna beat him again. I'm just gonna throw more volume in addition to over 10 minutes of control to his under 1 minute.
Hey Danny, real quick, I just wanted to ask, as a loser of a fight, you're not required to come speak to us after. Why did you feel like it was necessary? Why did you want to come speak to the media?
Yeah, just something that I reiterate. Whether I win or I lose, nothing really changes in my life. The only thing that's changing right now is my phone's going to be getting blown up by people in my Instagram comment section talking shit. I don't give a fuck about any of them. None of them would say that's my fucking face, or I would throw them through a fucking window. So I don't really care. I'll come talk to you guys. I'll talk to anybody, anytime, any place. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. I don't care. You know, right now, obviously, I'm the most pissed off I've been in fucking ever because I think I won that fight. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not totally down because I know I won, but you know, it just sucks that in this sport it comes down to 3 fucking people. Thanks.
Hey, we want to start? Okay.
Okay, let's open it up.
Scott, good event. Take us through the main event. Obviously, probably going to be a little controversy behind it, you know, going forward.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would not want to be a judge on tonight's fight. And it was close, I think, going into that last round. And, you know, it's again, it's tough being a judge. And it was some the 50 to 45. I didn't know where that came from, but I thought the other two were close or on, or you know, it could have, to me, it could have went either way. But you know, Stots is moving forward in our tournament, fighting Patchy Mix, which is going to be an unbelievable fight. And I think you saw what Mix is made of tonight. The guy is dangerous. He's long. He's lanky. Great submission game. He's going to be a handful for anybody. So we're going to have a great finals.
I think a lot of people felt like Danny Sabatello showed that he could be a handful for a lot of people too, even though he didn't get the win. So, you know, moving forward, obviously he's not part of the tournament now, but what kind of plans do you have for him? What kind of future do you see for him in the division after this all gets sorted out next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that let the finals happen, and then and then we're gonna, you know, start that division again, and we're gonna try to get the finals done as soon as we can in the first quarter if it's possible. If not, you know, maybe sometime in April, May. But we'd like to do it as soon as possible, and then the winner will have to fight Sergio first. But we'll have all the other guys fighting, you know, underneath that, and Sabatello will definitely be in the mix. I mean, listen, the guy is good. He's really talented. I was impressed with his wrestling ability, and you know, I think he controlled the ground, you know, and he did what he had to do on the ground. I just think that what the judges saw was a striking. Maybe swayed them a little bit to Stots' side, but again, it was a great fight. It was close, and you know, it was Stots' night.
I know you said first quarter for doing the finals. Just looking at what you guys have in the States in the first quarter. I mean, would you potentially do that in Los Angeles on the Fedor card, or would you wait for something else?
I think, you know, really what it is we're going to have to wait to see who's injured, who's not injured, and that's really going to determine when they fight, because we want them to be healthy, fresh, and ready to go, and not just, you know, train through injuries and having to, you know, trying to cut way through, you know, maybe too quick from this fight. But again, we're going to talk to all the management on Monday, see how everybody's feeling, and then we'll decide when we throw that fight, because our goal is to get that fight done, in the first quarter if we can.
Talk us through co-main event with Liz defending her title. Obviously, the first fight, she got a win that was dominant at the end, but she wasn't dominant leading up to that. And Juliana, had some things to say about that fight being stopped to begin with. She was an even bigger favorite this time around in the rematch, even though Liz won the first fight. But Liz looked phenomenal the way she got it done tonight.
Yeah, Juliana is, a great fighter, and she, went out there and tried her best. And even in Hawaii, people were like, the only question was, when she got stopped in Hawaii, there was like 12 seconds left. So the question was, if that 12 seconds would have continued, because she was stuck and she was taking damage. So would she have been able to, would she be still been able to win, even if if they could let the fight continue and not stopped it? So there wasn't a matter of was she stuck or was she not stuck. She was stuck and she was taking damage. I mean, I saw the video, I watched it over and over. It's just the amount of time left. So really tonight, I think was something that Liz felt she had to prove herself, and man, she did it. I mean, to me, that was a very impressive victory. And Juliana Velasquez is a great fighter. So I think she put her will on her and just kept taking her down, pressing her and working her, and then eventually, working that submission, which came out of nowhere. I mean, I was like, wow, that's really impressed me. So, to me, that's how I saw the fight.
Liz is making a pitch now for you guys to open up a women's 135 division so she can move up there back to where she used to be. She would love to see Alima move up there so that she wouldn't have any struggles making weight anymore, and open up that division for you guys with the two of them fighting for a title. Is that something that's even remotely in the ballpark for you guys? Has she had any conversations with you about that, or is she just having a pipe dream and there's no plans for 135 at women?
I'll tell you, we've had conversations, not with her, but internally with our fight team about the possibility of opening up a 135 division. So there's dialogue. It's not guaranteed, but there's dialogue, and we haven't made a decision yet.
Is there a reason why you guys haven't decided to go down that road prior to now?
I'll tell you, when you think about Bellator and how many TV dates there are and how many TV slots there are, there's only so many slots. So we have 9 divisions. We felt really good about our 9 divisions, and we felt we could be strong at 45 and 25. So those are the divisions that we went with. But we might open it up. We'll see.
Scott right here. Congratulations on I think a fantastic night. The main event, the backstory was a lot of trash talk, especially from Danny Sabatello. You got kind of two sides of that. You have the one side that loves the traditional martial arts of MMA, and they don't want that respect. But then it's also a promoter's dream that he could sell a fight. So do you appreciate trash talk like that?
I'll tell you, I don't mind it, but I love it when they can back it up too, right? So these guys went out there and started talking trash early on, and built this promotion. And this is something that's very organic. This is not something we said, hey, we want a fighter to act this way or a fight. That's just how it unfolded. And these guys definitely had some beef, before the fight. Hopefully now everything's good. They're all friends now and buddies. We'll see. I don't know, but once in a while a fight will start appearing and start building organically with the banter between the two fighters. So it's something that's part of the game. And what drives me crazy is if you're going to talk, then you better be able to walk the talk, right? And these guys definitely did it tonight.
The last 4 guys in the Grand Prix all have wrestling backgrounds, so you kind of see the best of wrestling when you bring in wrestlers. But then we also saw Pat Downey get knocked out in the first round. You kind of have the bad part. Does either one of the things kind of make you want to bring more wrestlers in, or maybe stay away from wrestlers?
No, I'll tell you what. To me, it's like wrestling is its own martial art. That's how I feel. Boxing is its own martial art. Jiu-jitsu is its own. And so to me, it really is who is the best, fighter, because styles make fights. That's true. But a certain style that works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. And so to me, like Patchy Mix, he's primarily a jiu-jitsu practitioner, but look at the level of expertise that he, has obtained in that. So a wrestler might think they're going to take this guy down, and then what? Then you're going to be in his wheelhouse and try. So there's going to be a lot of strategy on that fight that's going into the finals, because, that to me was originally one of the weaknesses of the wrestling. Was when they came in, they fought a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, and they didn't know how to deal with it, right? Now they do. So I think a wrestler has to become a good jiu-jitsu practitioner as well, and at least know how to defend it. And then So striking comes in, you know. This is the era of the modern fighter, and the modern fighter can do it all. And that's really what we're looking for. But I will say that, like, you saw a lot of great wrestlers here. That's a great base to have. But you could also be a great jiu-jitsu practitioner, and you could have a great, and that could be your base. But all I'm saying is the base has to expand. In order to be successful in MMA and fight at the highest level, you better have a complete bag of tricks.
I want to ask your thoughts. One of the biggest stories right now in the world of MMA, probably one of the biggest stories of the year, is what's going on with James Krause in Glory MMA and all this, and possible, commissions are changing how you can gamble on fights. The UFC has banned James Krause from their events. What's your thoughts on that? And what is Bellator doing to make sure that, either fight fixing or fight, insider information is not getting out, so, doesn't put a black eye on the sport?
Yeah, I mean, that's, to me, totally unacceptable. And, everybody has to put their foot down. And I do know that the legal department is taking a look at what's going on right now. And, they'll come out with, what they feel is maybe some changes that we might have to make. But that kind of behavior is just not acceptable, because it could ruin a lot of good things, for a lot of people that worked a lot of years to get to a certain point. It's really just can't happen in this sport. It's just unacceptable.
It looks like James Krause won't be cornering anymore. He might be selling his gym. But that said, if he wanted to corner Bellator, would you allow him right now?
The thing about cornering a fighter, that's something you'd have to ask Mike Mazzulli. Is he going to allow the guy to get a license? Because every cornerman, every fighter, every referee, every judge, any official in this building has to be licensed by the state. So if the state licenses them, then I'd have to talk to them legal internally. But I think these individuals are going to have a hard time getting licensed in different states until the investigation is complete.
Another controversial person I want to ask you about is Dylan Danis. He's fought for you a couple times. Sounds like now he's going to go to boxing. What's the relationship right now with Bellator and Mr. Danis?
Well, Dylan wants to go take this boxing fight, and I said, good luck. It's you're going to have your hands full, young man.
Is he currently not part of the Bellator roster?
No, he's still under contract, but we've been trying to get him to fight for a long time, and he saw an opportunity here with KSI, and so I wish him luck. And it's a good deal for him. I don't want to hold that back and be that promoter. So we said, yeah, go ahead, you guys can work it out, and we're going to see what happens, in that fight.
Sorry to interrupt. My last question. We're getting close to 2023. Obviously, I'm sure you want that to be a really big year for your company. What's something new we might see, or something big that you're working on that we could see next year?
Hey, it's called CBS Prime Time, February 4th. We've merged together between the Viacom properties and the CBS properties, created a new company, Paramount, and it's been about 2.5 years. And everything's aligned now to get the first date. So we're really excited about that. And we're going to put on a great card. And really, for me, it comes down to the building blocks are in place now, and the foundation is set. The quality of fighters that we have here are unbelievable. We have the best roster we've ever put together. We have an amazing staff. We have an amazing production team. We have such a great operation going. I feel like when we got the call, we said, okay, now is the time. I believe timing is everything, and so to me, we're not going to say no. When CBS calls, we always say yes, but I believe the timing is right, and I think it's going to be a great night for us. And think about this: Fedor is going to retire, win or lose, and I think he's gonna he himself is on a mission to take it to Bader. So we'll see if he can do it or not. But Fedor started his career on CBS fighting Brett Rogers back in Strikeforce in 2000 and what was it, 9 or 8 or 9. And what I mean by starting his career, I mean he was fighting here already, but it was like a pay-per-view product, and he fought in Japan. But really, what really made him popular in America, I believe, is those CBS shows that he did and the fighting for Strikeforce. And he did, I think, almost 6 million viewers the first night he fought Brett Rogers on CBS. So to see him come full circle, and now he's going to put the gloves down. And that's going to be a really, really, I think it's going to be an emotional moment for a lot of people, because this guy's had such a long run in mixed martial arts. To me, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. He fought, all these years, but he fought in an era where everybody fought everybody back then. And Japan had the best fighters in the world at that time. So he wasn't ducking anybody. They were all there for him to fight. So let's send him off the right way. And the broadcast on CBS is a great way to have him test himself again with a fighter at the highest level, like a Ryan Bader, and then we'll send him off properly.
Scott, so on the topic of boxing, tomorrow in Nebraska, Chris Cyborg makes her boxing debut.
Okay.
You flying out there?
No, I'm not flying out there. She did call me and tell me she's going to fight. I wished her luck. And I believe this is going to be her second fight. She had a fight in Brazil a little while ago, a month ago, 2 months ago. And she's always said she wants to try professional boxing. So she is fulfilling her dream. And when she's ready to come back to MMA, then we'll have a conversation.
Continuing on boxing for a second, I recently spoke with Steven Espinoza, and we talked about the topic of the back-to-back Bellator boxing nights here.
Mm-hmm.
And what Steven said was there's a lot of moving parts involved in doing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those moving parts is Scott Coker. So, Mr. Coker, I'm asking you, what's your opinion about possibly doing those again?
I mean, really, it's about timing. And, when you talk about when the fighters are ready, is the date available? Is the next date available? Are the 2 days back-to-back available on Showtime? There's just, like Steven is right, there's a lot of moving parts. But if we can line it up with one of their fights and we could do a back-to-back, I think it'd be great. I mean, to me, even, doing fights on the same night could be something that could happen in the future. That'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be something that, as a fan, I would love to see it, because I'm still a big boxing fan.
Cool. Just out of curiosity, people always say this person was a star of the night. Is there anybody from tonight's card that you were kind of wanting to see a lot more out of?
I mean, I think Liz showed us a lot tonight about her, her grit and her will and the will to win the way she won. But I'll tell you, after watching Patchy Mix and watching Stots, I'm excited for that fight, man. I am really excited for that fight. That's going to be a great main event and the finals of our bantamweight tournament. Give a champion $1 million. They're going to have a lot to fight for. And, I'm going to sit down and just watch it as a fan, and it's going to be amazing. So to me, that's, not just one star. I think, you got 2 stars here that are going to really throw it down at the finals.
Now, you talked about signing free, dealing with free agents. Have you spoken to any in particular that you'd want to mention?
We talk to everybody all the time regarding free agency,
including Nate.
I don't want to be specific.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I'd rather not say at this point, but listen, there's not any free agents that a deal is imminent, but we are constantly in dialogue with every free agent out there, that's available to talk to.
What's up, Scott? Congratulations, last person, on yet another great event. I don't know if you spoke to this yet. I know it just happened, it just resolved, but have you given any thought to maybe a month or a city where this Stots Sabatello or Stots Mix final will take place?
I'll tell you, really, it's going to depend on when they're healthy to fight. And on Monday, we'll circle back with them, because I'm sure, they might be banged up. And that's going to determine what month it goes, and then that'll determine where the fight card is, because, we have several dates booked out already. And so February is already here. March is, going to be right around the corner. We have some announcements coming up for the rest of the, not the rest of the year, but definitely the first quarter coming up. So if they're ready to fight, I'd like to fight them as soon as possible. This is something that I don't want to rush it, because if they're injured, we should let them rest. But if they're ready to go, we're going to be ready to go. So as soon as we can put that fight in the cage, we're going to do it.
And of course, you guys have that Ryzen event at the end of the month. But then up next, Bellator 290, February 4th. The top 3 fights are on CBS, top 3?
Yeah, there's going to be 3 fights on CBS.
So the one is Bader Fedor, the second one is Nemkov Romero, the third one hasn't been announced yet?
That's correct.
And then I just wanted to ask you about the last question, an intriguing bout that was announced for that card, Brennan Ward versus Sabah Homasi. What prompted you guys to throw Brennan in there and give him a ranked opponent in Homasi?
I mean, this is something that was part of the plan when we brought Brendan back, and we said, we'll give you a couple tune-up fights, and then you got to start fighting the tough guys. And this is that time. So he will be on the card, but the third slot hasn't been picked yet.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We've seen Australians doing really well in MMA at the moment. Every major promotion either has a champion or has had one recently. Have you put any thought at all into potentially going down under for a fight card? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we're in dialogue with a couple of companies right now to go there, and whether it's in 23 or maybe 24. But we have a great TV deal with our parent, one of our home networks there, and it's Channel 10, I believe, in Australia. It's owned by Paramount, so it's a great part of the family. But my understanding is the brand's growing and it's getting more popular, and eventually we'll go, and when we go, we will be looking for a couple fighters and sign a couple other people. I love going to different countries and going to different cities and different territories, because you'll always find somebody you're like, oh, this guy or this girl could be really, really good for us. So and I'll tell you, my history with Australia was I went there in 97, 98 in kickboxing with some fighters, and there are some tough fighters over there, man. They're really, really tough. And so, yeah, would we go there? Would like to go there? Yes. We'll go there to do a big fight? Yes. And we'll go there to scout for some talent at some point.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.